Okay, so I'm trying this again. It's my first time doing any of these videos, so please bear with me. I've already tried twice and couldn't get the sound to work, so I'm just hoping this is working. So, after reading many brilliant women's reports on YouTube of their experience of the HSG fertility dye test, and now I can't pronounce the full histosalpingogram, whatever the name is, so HSG, I thought I'd give back and tell you about my personal experience of it, which I had yesterday, which was the 27th of September 2011. Well, a little bit of background. I've got 3 children, 3 boys in fact, aged 16, 14 and 9, and for the longest time I've wanted another baby, but it took hubby a while to come round to the idea, which he well and truly has now, bless him. And sod's law being what it is, when we did decide, it didn't want to work for us. So we tried for the whole of 2008 with no luck, unfortunately. And then sort of hubby had a change of heart, shall we say, and we stopped and started again last year. So all in all, it's nearly, if you include 2008, it's nearly 2 years with no luck. I'm 36 now, so I'm obviously wondering whether that's a factor. But I'm being told by the specialist that he doesn't think it is, so okay. Goes against everything we all read, doesn't it, girls? Over 35, panic. But apparently that's not the problem. So we saw the fertility specialist for the first time back in August, and among other tests he wanted me to have this lovely HSG test. And being the person I am, I googled it, I looked up on YouTube and read and listened and watched hundreds and hundreds of people's reports, mainly American women. Not many of us Brit girls doing it, so come on. Which of course made me more terrified, but we all do this to ourselves. A little bit of knowledge is a good thing, but it's also a scary thing. So yesterday finally comes along, and I was terrified. I didn't sleep a wink the night before. I even had to take a sleeping tablet, just so I wouldn't be like yesterday, which of course it still was. So the older 2 boys went off to school. A brilliant friend of mine helped by taking our youngest to school, so that was one less worry, because the appointment was 9 in the morning, and what with trying to get through traffic to the hospital, getting parked, we were just worried that we wouldn't make it if we had to take him to school. So we trundled along there. Hubby wasn't allowed in to the actual procedure, which I'd sort of known again from all you lovely people on YouTube saying that they don't like to expose anyone else to radiation, which fair enough, but still scary. So we waited there. We didn't have to wait too long, but I think when you're scared, 5 minutes feels like 5 hours. So I have no real idea of what amount of time anything took yesterday. Got called in by this nurse into the lovely little changing cubicles they give you, and given the ever so sexy hospital gown, and told I could leave all my top stuff on, just obviously strip from the waist down and put on this lovely gown. It's like when you're nervous, you say stupid things. So for some reason I turned around and said, I can leave my jumper on. And she sort of went, yes. Looked at me like I was slightly mad and just left me to it and said, we'll call you through the door from the other side into the x-ray room. So I've got changed, sitting in this tiny little room. Again, felt like forever. Probably wasn't. Probably 5 minutes. Who knows? And you're in there and you're trying to calm yourself down. You've got this little mirror on the wall, so if you stand up, all you can see is your own reflection, which is just not good when you're that nervous and that early in the morning. So I'm trying to reassure myself, affirmations, anything that would make me feel better. Because I thought, bottom line, I know, common sense and from sort of past experience of other things, the more nervous you are, the more tense you are, the more it is going to hurt. So trying to calm yourself down. So next thing I know, the other door opens, and this, I think she called herself an assistant radiologist. Bless her, she's a very nice girl, looked about 12, but really lovely. Brought me through into this big room with all the equipment in it. So I'd sit in a chair and started running through the questions they have to ask with your date of birth, how many children do you have you had any other pregnancies, what cycle day are you, have you stopped bleeding, which I had, amazingly enough, day 8. For me, I could go on for 10 days, sometimes I could go on for 6. No rule or reason to mine, no rhyme or reason. So they've got the bed already, which from listening to the ladies on YouTube, I was visioned of this big metal table. It wasn't, it was just a normal hospital x-ray bed, nothing special. She'd asked me the same questions, she'd run through with me what the test involved, and kept telling me, because obviously I must have looked terrified, that if I can cope with the smear test, I can cope with this. So I thought, yeah, fine, but smear test, they don't normally shoot dye up you, but okay. So I laid on the bed, hooked everything up like you do, and she came out with the classic smear test line. Feet together, knees apart. Sure you ladies have heard this one? So I've done this, and she's covered, everything's covered up very, as dignified as it can possibly be. Put the big blue sterile cover thing that they put on when you have sort of operations and things, and told me not to touch that. So I'm laying there with my hand like this underneath it. I don't quite know why, I thought that would help. I did. And she put the speculum thing in, the thing that looks like a duck's bill, this thing. That thing. For some reason I had to change that. I don't know quite what that meant. Maybe after 3 kids. Who knows. And then told me she was having a little bit of a problem getting hold of my cervix, because apparently my cervix is low but points up. I don't know what they're meant to be, but obviously that was slightly different from the norm. Surprise, surprise. So she finally got herself sorted there, got hold of my cervix and did whatever she needed to do, like put the catheter through. And I'm laying there doing my calm breathing, trying to keep calm, thinking happy thoughts, looking at studying bits of metal on the ceiling, anything to distract myself. Like you can be distracted when someone's down there having a rummage. And she kept telling me this might feel weird, that might feel weird, and basically what I could feel was like someone, if you put your hands, both hands below your belly button and press on that whole area, that's what it felt like the entire time. And then at one point she said, oh, I'm going to warn you now, this bit's going to feel really weird. And I think she was basically going to one tube more than the other, so maybe one was slightly more blocked up, I don't know. That felt a bit strange, I must admit. And then suddenly she was taking everything out. And I thought, okay, and she's there patting my leg, so I must have, again, looked terrified, and saying to me, don't wait till next month, you've got to try this month, I promise you'll try this month. And she kept on and on saying this, really nice woman, but she kept on and on saying it, and I said, honestly, I wasn't planning on waiting another 6 months and then trying, I wouldn't put myself through this. And it suddenly occurred to me that maybe I should ask her what she'd seen on the tube, in my tubes, so this big screen, and I got to turn it towards me, not that I knew what the hell I was looking at really, but you have to ask. And she's telling me, I can't tell you much because I'm not a doctor, you have to wait till you see your specialist, but he may now want to put you on something, which I'm assuming means Clomid. I said, does that mean my tubes are clear? And she said, well, I can't say anything too much, again, because I'm not a doctor, but they're looking pretty clear now. So she did emphasise the now, so whether that meant they weren't clear, maybe that's why she blasted one of them or the other. But she kept saying that this is a therapeutic procedure as well as a test. Meaning lots of people have managed to get pregnant after this. And she used the expression which did make me laugh. She said, consider this like a jet wash for your tubes. So that's something to remember. If any of you are going to have that, just think of a jet wash and that should calm you down. So again, as she's helping me off this table, she's repeating again, don't wait, you've got to try. She apologised, bless her, for making me bleed, which, warning, I didn't particularly notice. They give you a pad anyway, so, because obviously the dye stuff does leak out again, but again that wasn't drastic, that was clear stuff came out, didn't really cause me too much of a problem. So next thing I know, I'm back in the lovely little cubicle and I'm getting changed again, probably 100 miles an hour, because I couldn't wait to get out. Straight through the door on the other side, and the hubby is standing there and he just beams at me, bless him. It must be because I looked relieved, I think, but he heard me saying thank you to the woman through the door. Knew that it probably went okay. So he's whisked me off straight away for a McDonald's breakfast. Sorry if that's advertising, but hey, had to be done. I managed to force myself to eat something. Couldn't drink my hot chocolate, which I'm still upset about. Then we went home. He bought me some magazines, or tried to, because he had to ring me to ask me what ones again, for the 3rd time. And I basically put my pyjamas on when I got home and crashed out on and off for most of the day, just slept in on, head on his lap, went to sleep. He went and collected the little one later on in the day. And he was brilliant. My hubby's had to go back to work today because he doesn't get any sick pay or anything, so bless him, he had to take a day's holiday. And today, I have to say, after the test, the pain was worse after it than during. I don't know if anyone else has experienced that, but I found the cramps and the aches and pains and just feeling so lethargic and just exhausted all day yesterday and again today. Worse than anything I felt during the test. That was over so fast. So I've been taking ibuprofen last night and I've taken some this morning, and I'm trying not to do any heavy lifting or anything because I feel a bit heavy still, and I'm still losing a little bit of blood and this fluid stuff. It's only day 9 of my cycle. I don't normally get a positive OPK until about day 18 at the very earliest, so I can give myself a couple of days before we start trying again. And I'm just very glad it's over. It's 28th of September today, which means exactly 2 months today we're due to see the fertility man again. He wants hubby to have a repeat semen analysis. He wants him to take conception vitamins for 2 months. He said contraception, that probably wouldn't help. And then try his count's fine. He's very, very proud of his count, bless him. But they're maybe not swimming as well as they could. That might be because we did the test. It had been quite a long time that he'd produced when we did the test at the time, because no one told us how to do it. So we're going to repeat that. And hopefully, if I'm not pregnant by the time we see him again in November, he can give us this Clomid and we go from there. But apart from that, I'm very glad the test is over with. I've had an internal ultrasound as well, which was fine. That was to look at my womb and the ovaries, I think. I have endometriosis, but I've had that for years. So I'm not sure whether that's causing problems now or not. But I'll keep you updated if I get some replies to this. Otherwise, if people aren't interested, I won't annoy anyone. And good luck to anyone else going through any of this, whether you've had 1 child, no children, 10 children. I wish everybody all the best. It's not an easy route. But infertility is horrible. Secondary infertility is horrible. It's all scary, but it'll be worth it. Okay? Mwah.